Are we being visited by an alien civilization? Beings millions of years ahead in regards to technological developments, able to travel from faraway stars, somehow warping space-time to travel the universe, on a quest, a search for life amongst the galactic marbles such as ours. Perhaps, instead of extraterrestrial beings, what we are seeing didn't come from space at all. Perhaps they travel from other dimensions. Sightings of strange craft and claims and tales of possible alien visitations stretch far back into our distant past. In all possibilities, these encounters have dated back to the beginning of time. With one individual in particular, via his many years of in-depth study of modern, and also the many ancient reports of encounters with these strange craft, has developed a highly compelling hypothesis for not only what these things are, but why they are here, and why he believes we will continue witnessing them. Dr. Jacques Vallée has long been regarded as one of the most respected scientific investigators of unidentified aerial phenomena. In his landmark 1969 book, Passport to Magonia, Vallée argues for the validity of a parallel universe which is coexisting alongside our own. He states, quote, "Unexplained close encounters are far more numerous than would be required for any physical survey of the Earth. The humanoid body structure of the alleged aliens isn't likely to have originated on another planet, as they are not biologically adapted to space travel. The reported behavior in thousands of the abduction reports contradicts the general hypothesis of genetic or scientific experimentation on humans by an advanced race. The apparent ability of UFOs to manipulate space and time suggests radically different and richer alternatives." One of the most interesting aspects of his argument for these entities arriving here via atomic resonance, somehow materializing into our dimension, are the vast array of similarities found within the ancient reports and descriptions he has collected and corroborated over the years. Specifically, the development in the apparent technology these creatures can possess. Most of the medieval accounts, for example, indeed describe ships, however not spaceships, but rather maritime vessels seen flying through the air, on occasion witnessed dropping a physical anchor to the ground below, appearing to dock in the sky. It would seem that the technological advancements visible during these encounters reflected advancements in technology a mere few decades ahead of the human civilization at the time of the encounters, as if they are providing us with this technology, as if they are repeatedly attempting to give our species an evolutionary nudge. With an interesting caveat being that, on countless occasions, a reoccurring theme is these craft materializing upon a busy road, placing themselves almost always perfectly in the center, as if to deliberately block both lanes of traffic, so the chances they are witnessed being in our realm a near certainty. Many people believe, and whistleblowers from some of the world's most secretive agencies have claimed, that many of the technologies we hold in our hands, and many more which are hidden in bases, originate from the retrieval of these specific crashed craft. Could they be gifts? Perhaps, like the clockwork elves, they are sent into our dimension to aid in our direction and development, as they, or the ones who send them, created it. It's a pretty wild hypothesis, but with the vast collection of evidence that Jacques has correlated in support of such a theory, I find the possibility highly compelling.